Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're bringing you the sequel of I'm Sorry I Love You.
Part 2.
Part 2.
That's right.
I guess a lot of our listeners enjoyed the first part. Mm-hmm. And since it was such a romantic dialogue and hit, we're bringing part 2. So it's even more romantic, and I'm sure everyone is going to find some great and useful language in it.
That's right. We've got language that we use to talk about dates.
A date, yeah. Mm-hmm. So useful language for when you're going on a date.
That's right. Well, before we look at this date language, let's listen to the dialogue for the first time.
I'm so relieved that your ankle wasn't broken. I feel just awful about this whole thing. I want to make it up to you. Let me take you out to dinner tonight, my treat.
Oh, that sounds great. I'd love to. Here's my address. Pick me up at 8.
Perfect.
Thank you for such a lovely evening. The food was amazing and I had a great time.
Me too. You look so beautiful tonight. I wish this night would never end. There's something that I have to tell you.
But what is it?
I woke up today thinking that this would be just like any other day. But I was wrong. The twist of fate brought us together. I crashed into your life and you into mine, and this may sound crazy, but I'm falling in love with you, Veronica.
Wow, such a romantic dialogue.
It really sounds like they're falling in love.
Yeah, it's a really romantic thing that's going on right now, but there was some really useful words here, so why don't we take a look at language takeaway?
Language takeaway.
Today, we have 3 words for language takeaway, and the first one is relieved.
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 So we have some great examples on how we use relieved, and I'm really sure you can understand the meaning from the sentences.
Example 1. They were relieved to hear that the company would not be making any layoffs. Example 2.
I'm so relieved to hear your voice. I was worried something happened to you.
I guess relieved is like a happy or relaxed feeling that you get if you avoid something bad, right?
Right. I'm so relieved that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Now for our second word, pick me up.
Pick me up.
Pick me up.
So when you ask someone to pick you up, you're saying basically...
Come and get me.
Okay, so let's give a couple of examples.
All right.
My husband was supposed to pick me up from work yesterday, but he forgot.
Does that really happen?
Yes.
All right, we'll have a talk with him. Or we could also say, oh, I need to hurry up. The taxi will pick me up at 7.
Yes. So come and get me.
Right. Mm-hmm. Pick me up.
And our final word in today's language takeaway is...
ordinary.
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 So ordinary is a normal word.
Yes. Meaning?
It's normal.
Uh-huh.
Nothing uncommon about it.
Yeah.
So you can have like an ordinary person.
An ordinary day.
An ordinary day. Ordinary life.
Uh-huh.
Nothing exciting about it. What else is ordinary?
Ordinary podcast.
An ordinary podcast, which English Pod is not. Okay.
Yeah.
So ordinary. Okay, great words. And I guess now we can listen to our dialogue a second time.
This time it'll be a little bit slower, and this will help you to understand the language more clearly.
I'm so relieved that your ankle wasn't broken. I feel just awful about this whole thing. I want to make it up to you. Let me take you out to dinner tonight. My treat.
That sounds great. I'd love to. Here is my address. Pick me up at 8?
Perfect.
Thank you for such a lovely evening. The food was amazing, and I had a great time.
Me too. You look so beautiful tonight. I wish this night would never end. There's something I have to tell you.
What is it?
I woke up today thinking this would be just like any other ordinary day, but I was wrong. A twist of fate brought us together. I crashed into your life and you into mine, And this may sound crazy, but I'm falling in love with you, Veronica.
Okay, so we looked at some great vocabulary, and now we can look at some great phrases. So let's start with Fluency Builder.
Fluency builder.
On Fluency Builder today, we have 3 great phrases. So why don't we just start with the first one?
Yeah, the first one we heard at the beginning of the dialogue. Make it up to you.
Make it up to you.
Make it up to you.
Okay, so we have some great examples on how we use make it up. So let's listen.
Example 1. I'm sorry I forgot your birthday. How can I make it up to you? Example 2.
I feel terrible for calling your mother fat. I want to make it up to her, so I got her these flowers.
Example 3. John forgot my anniversary again. He's going to have to make it up to me.
We can see from the examples that when you use the phrase make it up to you, you're kind of saying you want to balance something bad you did with some good action, right?
Right, so if you call your mother-in-law fat,
you better buy her at least some flowers or a card or something.
to make it up, right?
Yeah. So the bad action was...
calling her fat.
And the balancing good action was the flowers.
The flowers, yeah. I don't think flowers will be enough, though.
Looks like a doomed marriage.
Okay, our second phrase, my treat.
My treat.
My treat.
So we use this phrase when we want to say, I'll invite you. I'll pay for you.
I'll pay.
Uh-huh.
Right, so I can say, hey, let's go get some beers. It's my treat.
Ooh, thanks, Marco.
So I'm paying, right?
Yeah.
My treat. And our last phrase for Fluency Builder, a twist of fate.
A twist of fate.
Twist of fate.
A twist of fate.
So, Erica, what is a twist of fate?
A twist of fate is an unplanned event that has a big impact on your future or your life.
Okay.
Marco, can you give us an example of a twist of fate?
All right. For example, okay, you're supposed to catch a flight to another country. All right. But you're late, so you miss your flight.
Okay.
And that flight crashes.
Wow.
Right. So
that's a twist of fate.
So yeah, it's like fate. It's like destiny.
Yeah.
You weren't supposed to be on that flight.
Okay, so a twist of fate.
A twist of fate.
Great. On a happier note, let's listen to the dialogue a third time.
Welcome to WorldPod English Video. My name is Liana.
Welcome everyone. We're glad you're here. My name is Luca.
Today we're diving into dating language and expressions so you can sound natural, kind, and confident from hello to goodbye.
We'll build phrases for asking someone out, accepting or declining, texting politely, apologizing with heart, and saying, I'm sorry, I love you in a way that truly lands.
First, let's warm up with emotion words you can mix into any sentence to show tone.
Try excited, nervous, curious, relieved, grateful, and hopeful to color your message without sounding dramatic.
For example, I'm a bit nervous, but I'd love to grab coffee with you is honest, sweet, and clear.
Emotion words help listeners feel your intention, which is powerful in dating.
Now, asking someone out can be simple if you keep it specific and gentle.
Use a 3-part frame: invite, detail, and exit lane.
Invite. Would you like to? Detail. This Saturday around 4 at the Riverside Cafe. Exit lane. And no pressure if that's not good for you.
It sounds like, would you like to meet for coffee this Saturday around 4 at Blue River Cafe? And no pressure if that's not good for you.
Accepting is easy. Be warm and confirm the plan.
That sounds great. I'm excited to see you on Saturday at 4 at Blue River Cafe. Thanks for inviting me.
Declining politely is just as important.
Thank you for asking. I'm flattered, but I'm not available for dating right now. Wishing you the best.
Boundaries protect both hearts, so learn firm lines with a soft tone.
I enjoy our chats, but I prefer to take this slowly. Let's keep texting once a day for now.
Is honest and kind. I'm not comfortable with late-night calls. Could we talk earlier in the evening? Keeps respect high.
Boundaries are invitations to healthy connection, not walls.
Time for first message openers that don't feel copy-paste.
Your weekend photo looks peaceful. What's your favorite quiet place in the city? Opens the door to story.
I noticed you love hiking. What trail would you recommend to a curious beginner? Invites expertise.
2 truths and a tiny coffee. I'll buy the coffee if I guess your truth wrong. Adds fun challenge.
On the date, use open questions that begin with what, how, and why.
What made you smile this week? How did you get into that hobby? And why does that place feel like home? Build depth fast.
Answer with many stories, not one-word replies.
I started baking during exam stress, and the smell of cinnamon turned my tiny apartment into a calm island.
Paints a picture. Let's talk micro-listening to show care without over-talking.
Try short echoes like, that makes sense, say more, and I'm curious about that moment.
To keep them flowing, hold eye contact, relax your shoulders, and smile softly to send safety signals.
When you feel nervous, slow your breath and ask one open question.
Compliments should be specific, respectful, and not about bodies first.
Example like, I admire the way you talk about your students. It's full of patience.
Feel sincere. Your playlist surprised me. In a good way, I discovered a new favorite. Shows curiosity.
Keep compliments about effort, taste, or character to build trust.
Now for texting etiquette that keeps momentum without pressure.
Frequency. Match their rhythm, not your anxiety.
Clarity. Confirm plans with still good for 4 p.m. at Blue River Cafe. Kindness. If busy, send heads up, today's packed, I'll reply tonight, so they're not guessing. Misunderstandings happen, so let's build the apology toolkit for dating.
Teaching. Use 4 parts. Action, impact, responsibility, and repair.
Modeling. I'm sorry I arrived late. I know that felt disrespectful. That's on me, and next time I'll leave earlier and text updates. Lands well.
Apologies are bridges when they're specific and followed by better behavior.
Tender. Now the delicate combo. I'm sorry, I love you, for couples working through storms.
Grounded. Try, I'm sorry I shut down during our talk. I love you, and I want to understand what you needed from me last night, to mix repair with affection.
Or, I'm sorry I was sarcastic. I love you, and I'm ready to speak respectfully and listen fully, to reset tone.
Love inside an apology reminds the heart we're on the same side.
Organized. Let's role-play 3 mini-scenes you can copy.
Roleplay. Scene 1. Asking out. Would you like to try the new bookstore cafe on Saturday afternoon? And no worries if that's too soon. Holds openness.
Reply yes. I love that. Saturday afternoon works beautifully. Thanks for the thoughtful invite. Glows.
Reply no. Thank you for asking. I'm not dating right now. Wishing you all the best. Respects dignity.
Scene 2. Awkward silence on a date.
Try, I'm enjoying the quiet, and I'm curious. What's a tiny habit that makes your mornings better?
Laugh gently and ask, on a scale from tea to espresso, how energetic are you on Mondays?
Humor plus curiosity dissolves tension without forcing performance.
Scene 3. After a small conflict.
Repair. I'm sorry I checked my phone too much. I see that pulled me away from you. I'll put it on silent next time so I'm fully present.
Receive repair graciously. Thank you. I felt ignored, and I appreciate the plan.
Steady. Repair plus gratitude turns a crack into a stronger seam.
Teaching. Phrasal verbs make dating English sound native.
Ask out, hit it off, open up, drift apart, make up, settle down, and break up are core tools.
We really hit it off on the bus. I'm not ready to settle down. And we made up after a tough week, our everyday lines.
Use them carefully and kindly because words carry weight in romance.
Idioms add flavor without sugar overload.
Butterflies in my stomach, Head over heels, on the same wavelength, and spark flu are expressive.
Keep idioms short and pair them with concrete details for clarity.
I have butterflies and the rainy walk felt cozy is vivid and sweet.
Cultural notes matter. Pace, space, and consent change across contexts.
When unsure, ask with kindly. Is a hug okay? What's a comfortable pace for you? And how do you feel about public displays of affection?
Consent language is romantic because it centers care and safety.
I'd love to hold your hand if you're comfortable is gentle and respectful.
Post-date follow-ups keep momentum alive.
I enjoyed our conversation about travel. Would you like to continue over tea next week? Moves the story forward.
I had a nice time, but I don't feel a romantic connection. Thank you for the evening and take care.
Clarity reduces confusion and prevents ghosting cycles.
If ghosting happens, protect your dignity.
Send one respectful note. It seems the timing isn't right, wishing you well, and move on with head high.
Your worth isn't measured by someone else's reply speed.
Choose people who choose you back with consistency.
Mini pronunciation clinic. Sound warm without mumbling.
Smile slightly to lift tone, slow the last word of key sentences, and drop your shoulders to soften delivery.
Practice. I'd love to see you again with a calm breath and gentle smile.
Practice, I'm sorry, I love you with steady pace and eye contact if in person.
Now, the date builder script you can tailor in seconds.
I enjoyed specific moment. I'm curious about their interest and I'd love to meet at place on day if that works for you. Is plug and play.
I enjoyed your story about your grandmother. I'm curious about your family recipes, and I'd love to meet at the farmer's market on Sunday if that works for you.
Is warm.
Specific equals sincere, and sincere equals attractive. Teaching apology templates for bigger bumps, use compassion, not drama.
Template. I'm sorry I raised my voice. I understand that hurt you. I take responsibility, and I'm practicing pausing before I react.
Template. I'm sorry I joked about something sensitive. I see the impact. I was careless, and I won't repeat it.
Template. Follow words with changed behavior so trust can regrow.
Conversation starters for different vibes, quiet, playful, and deep.
Soft. What is your favorite small comfort when the week is heavy? Opens tenderness.
Fun. If we could teleport for dessert, where are we going tonight? Sparks imagination.
Deep. When did you realize you had grown in a way that surprised you? Invites reflection.
Green flags help you choose wisely.
Consistent messages, respectful boundaries, laughter that doesn't sting, and apologies that lead to better actions are bright signals.
Red flags include love bombing, pushing pace, mocking feelings, and confusing words versus actions.
Trust patterns more than promises because patterns predict.
Teaching quick say it softer for delicate moments.
Swap. Instead of you're wrong, say I see it differently. Can I share? To keep dignity intact.
Swap. Instead of you never listen, say I don't feel heard. Could we pause and try again? To invite repair.
Swap. Instead of calm down, say I care about you. Can we take a breath together? To co-regulate.
Let's practice a short, cozy first date scene.
Scene. This place smells like roasted oranges. Do you have a comfort drink story? Open census.
I keep a tiny list of streets that feel kind at sunset. Want to add one? Invites collaboration.
If you could gift your past self one sentence, what would it be? Offers intimacy.
When feelings grow, say it with presence and clarity.
Tender. I like where this is going, and I'd like to date you exclusively if you feel the same.
Honest. I'm not there yet, but I want to keep exploring. Is valid and kind.
Secure. I'm ready and I choose you. Is simple and strong.
Gentle. If the relationship must end, let kindness guide the exit.
Care. I respect you and I don't feel we're a match long term. Thank you for the good moments and take care.
Care. I value what we shared and I'm choosing a different path. Wishing you genuine happiness.
Endings written with care help both people heal and grow.
Summarizing, let's lock in the essentials for your next date.
Keys: ask clearly, accept kindly, decline kindly, listen deeply, set boundaries gently, apologize specifically, and follow through consistently.
Bring curiosity, humor, and respect, and you will feel more like yourself, your best dating superpower.
Your English will carry your heart when your words are simple, sincere, and steady.
Before we close, repeat after us. I can invite with clarity, I can listen with care, I can repair with courage, and I can love with respect.
Say it once more with breath. Clarity, care, courage, respect.
Thank you for being with us today and for practicing brave language for tender moments.
We're honored to learn with you and to cheer for your next kind conversation.
This is WorldPod English Video, and you've just upgraded your dating English toolkit with heart.
Go gently, speak simply, and let your words match your values.
I'm so relieved that your ankle wasn't broken. I feel just awful about this whole thing. I want to make it up to you. Let me take you out to dinner tonight, my treat.
Oh, that sounds great. I'd love to. Here's my address. Pick me up at 8.
Perfect.
Thank you for such a lovely evening. The food was amazing and I had a great time.
Me too. You look so beautiful tonight. I wish this night would never end. There's something that I have to tell you.
But what is it?
I woke up today thinking that this would be just like any other day. But I was wrong. The twist of fate brought us together. I crashed into your life and you into mine, and this may sound crazy, but I'm falling in love with you, Veronica.
Welcome to WorldPod English Video. My name is Sophia. The night I learned to say I'm sorry and I love you in the same breath began with rain. The city lights blurred like watercolor on the bus window while my phone buzzed with a message that sounded like a soft knock on my heart. It was from Alex, who I had met at a bookshop where I pretended to understand poetry and actually just loved the smell of pages. The message said, "Do you want to test the new cinnamon cafe on Saturday?" And I smiled because the invite was specific, gentle, and sweet, like brown sugar. I typed, "Yes, I'd love to. Thanks for asking." And I added a small detail, "See you at 4." So the plan felt solid. I even practiced a few warm openers, like, "What made you smile this week?" and "How did you fall in love with reading?" to keep the conversation kind. On Saturday, I arrived early with rain in my hair and a tiny orchestra in my chest, playing the song of first impressions. Alex walked in with an umbrella that smelled like clouds and a smile that looked like a calm doorway after a long day. I said, "I am a little nervous but excited to meet you." And Alex said, "I feel the same," which made my shoulders drop like anchors finally finding sand. We ordered cinnamon tea and a plate of orange cake, shareable, which felt like a small promise to be generous. I asked, "What makes you feel at home in a noisy week?" And Alex said, "The sound of a kettle and a book open to a chapter with a folded corner." I said, "My home is a window with rain and a pen that still works when my courage is low." We laughed like gentle bells and talked about phrases we love because words are tiny boats that carry heavy feelings. I confessed that my favorite phrase lately is "be kind and clear," because kindness without clarity confuses, and clarity without kindness cuts. Alex said, "My favorite is say what you mean and mean what you say," which sounded like a bridge over every misunderstanding I had ever lived. By the second cup, the world outside felt like background music, and the table felt like an island where two languages were learning to dance. On our third meeting, we walked by the river, where the wind braided through our sentences and taught them rhythm. Alex said, "Let's play 2 truths and a tiny truth." And I said, "Fine, but I warn you, I am terrible at hiding joy." I told the story of the first time I cooked for friends and burned the garlic, and still everyone ate because home tastes like forgiveness. Alex told the story of failing a driving test twice, then passing with a grin that said bravery is doing the same hard thing again with softer shoulders. We kept our pace calm, and I tried to listen with my whole body, which is harder than it sounds and worth more than it seems. When I didn't understand a detail, I said, "Could you say that part one more time?" And Alex smiled as if I had offered a chair to a tired idea. By the time we reached the old bridge, the sky had the color of apricot tea, and I felt the soft weight of possibility. I wanted to say, "I like you," but I practiced a gentler line. "I like where this is going, if you feel the same," so we could walk at the same speed. Alex said, "I feel it too," and the bridge held our secret like a quiet friend who knows when to stay silent. We agreed to check in weekly about pace and comfort, because love grows better when it has sunlight and a schedule for water. We promised to be honest about energy and time, because romance is beautiful, but calendars are real. I wrote a tiny note in my phone that said clarity is a gift wrap with ribbon. A month later, the story tilted because stories always test the language they teach. I was late to a dinner where Alex had reserved a table near the window with hanging plants that looked like green waterfalls. I had overbooked my day and told myself optimism is time management, which is a lie that looks good on paper. I arrived 15 minutes late with apologies stuffed in my pockets like crumbled receipts that prove nothing. I said, "I'm sorry, I'm late, I know it made you wait, and that felt disrespectful," and I watched Alex's eyes soften just a little, like frost turning to dew. I added, "It's my responsibility, and next time I will leave earlier and send updates every 10 minutes if traffic is heavy." Alex nodded and said, "Thank you for naming it clearly," and I felt the air return to the room like a patient friend. We ate slow pasta and told silly stories about childhood fears, and I promised myself not to confuse busyness with importance again. But the hardest day did not arrive with lateness. It arrived with sarcasm, which is a knife that smiles. I cracked a joke about a sensitive hobby of Alex's because my mouth was faster than my empathy, and the room shifted colder than the AC could explain. Alex went quiet, like a lake after a thrown stone, and my heart sank to the muddy bottom of my courage. We paid the bill with the kind of politeness that sounds like glass, and walked outside where the night air felt like a teacher with one eyebrow raised. I went home and sat on the floor with my back against the sofa, because sometimes the closest door to wisdom is the floor. I wrote a small confession in my journal. I hurt someone I care about with a joke dressed as charm, and I will fix this with clean language and changed behavior. I rehearsed the 4 parts of a wholehearted apology: mistake, impact, responsibility, repair, so my words could carry a structure that love could trust. Then I called and asked, "May I talk for a minute?" And Alex said yes, which felt like a window opening in a crowded room. I said, "I am truly sorry. I joked about something you love, and I can hear how that felt dismissive and small." I said, "I was wrong, and I own it, and I will not put humor before respect again, because respect is the table where love eats." I said, "I want to repair this by learning more about your hobby and by checking in before I joke next time, so we protect tenderness." I asked, "Would you tell me what you needed from me tonight?" And then I kept my mouth as still as a held breath. Softly, Alex said, "I needed you to treat my joy like something alive, not like a balloon you can bop for fun." I said, "Thank you for telling me," and I wrote those words down, because sometimes the map out of a forest is a single sentence. We agreed to meet at the botanical garden the next day and walk until the air felt honest again. I slept with my phone far from my bed so I would not send 20 extra apologies that would turn sincerity into noise. The garden morning arrived with shy sunlight and leaves that looked like tiny hands clapping softly. We walked without hurrying, and I carried a thermos of tea because warmth travels better in steel than in a promise alone. Alex explained the hobby with stories and terms and metaphors, and I asked questions that were not tests, but doors. By the koi pond, I said, "I am learning to keep my humor on a leash where it can play but not bite."
Alex laughed and said, "That is a good image," and the sound felt like rain from a tin roof, comforting, predictable, and close. We made a tiny ritual for tense moments. Pause, breathe, ask, "What do you need?" And it felt like a pocket tool we could carry anywhere. I recognized that real romance is less fireworks and more firewood, steady, careful, and warm for a long winter. That night, I texted, "Thank you for walking with me through the messy middle," and Alex answered, "Walking is where we find the path," which I saved like a postcard. Weeks later came the evening when love pushed at the door with both hands, and all my careful words trembled like sparrows. A misunderstanding at work left Alex raw and quiet, and my instinct was to fix with speeches and plans, because I mistake solutions for balm when hearts need water and light. I remembered our ritual and asked, "What do you need?" And Alex said, "I need you to sit with me and not solve me," and my shoulders felt the lesson land like a quilt. We sat on the floor with our backs against the couch and counted our breaths like a gentle choir learning harmony.
I wanted to say I love you, but I also needed to say I'm sorry for every time I tried to rescue you from feelings that did not want saving. I turned toward Alex and spoke quietly. I am sorry. I rushed to fix. I love you, and I want to understand what your day felt like inside your body. The room changed temperature, as if honesty had turned on a small sun behind the curtain. Alex said, "Today felt like walking through syrup while smiling," and I said, "I'm here, and I am not rushing us anywhere," and the air unclenched. The words, "I'm sorry, I love you," felt like two hands holding the same rope, pulling us toward the same shore. I realized that I had learned apology as a period and love as a separate sentence, when they sometimes belong together as a bridge. We ate simple soup and watched our favorite slow show, and paused to say, "Look at that lamp," because joy likes witnesses. Before sleep, I whispered, "I will not confuse speed with care," and Alex whispered, "I will not confuse silence with strength," and both lines felt like keys. The next mornings tasted like clean light and fruit, because bodies remember peace like bread remembers heat. We sent each other spark-sized compliments, specific, respectful, and small enough to carry in a pocket without breaking. I wrote, "Thank you for making tea before your meeting," and Alex wrote, "I love how your laugh shows up early, like a guest who brings flowers." We added calendar check-ins where love meets logistics and nothing breaks because someone forgot to invite time. I asked Alex to teach me the language of their joy, and they did with patience and metaphors and tiny proofs of wonder. I learned names of tools and the difference between practice and perfection, and how progress is a friend who walks, not a bus you must catch running. On days when we had less energy, we used small phrases like, "I'm here," and "I see you," and "I'm on your team," because teams win slowly. On days when we had more light, we dreamed about a balcony garden and a bookshelf ladder, and holidays with soup, not airports. Still life tested us again, because good lessons return like kind teachers. My family hosted a crowded dinner, and I introduced Alex to everyone at once, like a storm of names and jokes and questions. Alex smiled politely, but I could see the edges of their breath fray like ribbon cut too quickly. After the dinner, Alex texted, "I need space," and I felt the old anxiety march up the stairs of my chest with heavy boots. I answered, "Thank you for telling me. I am here when you are ready," and I put my phone down like a hot pan that still held flavor. The next afternoon, we met in a small park, where the swings squeaked like old door hinges, telling the truth about time. I said, "I am sorry. I threw you into a crowd. I love you, and I want to learn your pace and your map for new rooms." Alex exhaled and said, "Thank you," and then explained how safety grows for them like a plant that prefers shade before sun. We made a plan for future gatherings, arrive early, find exits, choose signals, agree on a time to step out, and we wrote it like a recipe with simple verbs. We promised to check feelings before the event, like weather, so no one lies about rain wearing sandals.
From then on, we left parties with energy still in our pockets and gratitude still in our throats. We celebrated with late-night pancakes, which are just sweet circles of "I'm glad we tried again." I began to see that dating language is not glitter for special moments. It is the thread that holds ordinary days together. I kept practicing short, brave sentences like "I want" and "I need" and "I'm sorry" and "I love you," because small, clear words carry big, warm lives. I also learned playful lines to restart connection, like "Tell me one tiny victory today," and "Show me a photo that makes your shoulders relax," because stories return breath. Alex met me there with their own sentences, like "I'm proud of you for pausing," and "I appreciate your gentle questions," and I felt like a porch light had been left on for me. One Sunday afternoon, we visited a quiet museum where the floorboards remembered every footstep, and the air smelled like old varnish and quiet promises. We stood before a painting of two small boats tied to a dock while a storm gathered in the corner of the sky. Alex whispered, "That looks like us sometimes, tied to something steady while weather happens." And I whispered, "Yes, and the rope is our words." We sat on a bench where we could see both the boats and the storm, and we held hands like two commas, keeping a single sentence alive. I told Alex a story I had not told anyone about a time I apologized too late to someone I loved and carried the regret like a stone in my pocket for years. I said, "I'm learning to apologize early now, before the stone hardens," and Alex kissed my temple like a tiny blessing you can feel even with your eyes closed. We left the museum and walked into a drizzle that felt like confetti thrown by quiet weather. I said, "Let's buy basil for our imaginary balcony," and Alex said, "Let's," and that word felt like a doorway painted in sunshine. That night, I wrote a promise to my future self: speak gently, even when you are right, and repair quickly, even when you are scared. I wrote another promise: protect what the other person loves, and never use it for a laugh, not even a small one. Language is how we rearrange reality, and I wanted our reality to feel like a room with soft chairs and good lamps and windows that open easily. I slept with the window cracked so the night could teach me a little more about breathing slowly. Months passed, and our rituals became invisible in the best way, like oxygen and bookmarks and warm socks in winter. We still used romance words, but they had a backbone now. Apology became a path, not a performance, and love became a verb, not a mood. Some days were easy, like clean counters, and some were messy, like flour on the floor, and both felt like real life, not a highlight reel. On difficult mornings, I said, "I'm sorry I woke up stormy. I love you, and I will take a quiet walk before we talk," and that sentence saved our breakfast more than once. On a bright Saturday, we carried basil home in brown paper and named it Lemon because naming ordinary things is free joy. We made spaghetti with the first leaves and pretended we were in a tiny restaurant with one table and two critics who only give 5 stars for sincerity. We ate slowly and told each other one secret dream each and promised not to laugh unless the other person laughed first. After dishes, we danced to a song that sounded like a handwritten note folded into a pocket, and my living room turned into a small galaxy.
Later that night, I finally said the sentence without shaking, "I love you," like a vow, not a question, and the room went still, the way rooms do when they decide to remember. I added, "I am sorry for every time I will make a new mistake, and I promise to repair quickly and listen longer than I argue." And Alex nodded with eyes that looked like home at dusk. We said, "I love you" back and forth until the words felt less like fireworks and more like the warm weight of a blanket that belongs on this couch. We fell asleep to the sound of rain again, which felt like a circle closing and a new page opening at the same time. If you are listening to this and holding a hard conversation in your hands, I want to offer you a small toolkit made of sentences and breath. Say, "I am sorry for," and name the action. Then say, "I see it," and name the impact. Then say, "I own it," and then say, "Here is how I will repair it." Say, I love you when you mean it, not to erase the problem, but to light the path back to each other. Say, what do you need? And guard the answer like a fragile bird that wants to stay if the room is quiet and kind. Love is not a test you can cram for the night before. It is a language you practice in small sentences every day. Love is also groceries cleaned up after, and socks picked up, and calendars checked, and laughter shared without a target. Apology is not losing, it is learning together. And repair is not weakness, it is architecture. If you keep building daily, your house will not mind the rain. In fact, it may learn to sing with it. Thank you for walking through my story and for letting me place these sentences in your pocket like folded maps you can open when the road gets foggy. When you need them, pull out, I'm sorry. Then pull out, I love you, and tie them together like two small boats that choose the same dock. Your voice matters, your gentleness matters, and your clarity matters even more on the days your courage feels quiet. I am cheering for your next brave conversation and the soft smile that returns when repair becomes real. Thank you for listening with your whole heart at 𝗘𝘶𝗶 English Video. May your language be kind and clear, and may your love have the patience of a kettle and the honesty of rain.
Okay, so we're back. Erica, I know you have a story of a twist of fate in your life.
Yes. Recently, actually, this happened. I went to this party, and at the party, there was a contest, like sort of a lottery. Mm-hmm. You could buy some tickets and win a prize, and the prize was a week-long vacation.
Okay.
So I went with some friends of mine, and they were tired, so they left early, and they gave me their tickets. And guess what happened?
What happened?
We won. We won the week-long vacation.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. So that was a really lucky twist of fate for me.
A lucky twist of fate. Yeah, that's a good story.
Yeah.
I'm sure it wasn't that good of a twist of fate for your friends.
Yeah, but they were very generous and let me have the prize anyway.
All right. Well, we want to hear your stories of maybe some type of twist of fate that you've had.
Yes.
Maybe love stories, maybe tragic stories, any story. Mm-hmm. So be sure to leave your questions and comments and your stories at our website, englishpod.com, and where you can also find us to answer any questions or doubts.
Yes, that's right.
So I guess until then, it's
goodbye.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. Relaxed and happy that something difficult has been stopped.
Relieved.
Do something good as a balance to a bad or hurtful action.
Make it up.
I will pay.
My treat.
Go somewhere in order to get someone or something.
Pick up.
Normal.
Ordinary.
Unplanned events that have a big impact on the future.
Twist of fate.
Hit something causing serious damage.
Crash.
Start being in love.
Fall in love. Go on a date.
Invite or ask someone to go on a date.
Ask you out.
Invite someone to go and do something.
Take you out.
Decline an invitation.
Turn down.
An expression to show excitement about something.
Look forward to.
Be in a relationship with someone.
See someone. Flirt.
Let's try that faster. I will pay.
My treat.
Normal.
Ordinary.
Hit something, causing serious damage.
Crash. Go on a date.
Decline an invitation.
Turn down.
Invite or ask someone to go on a date.
Ask you out.
An expression to show excitement about something.
Look forward to.
Go somewhere in order to get someone or something.
Pick up.
Relaxed and happy that something difficult has been stopped.
Relieved.
Start being in love.
Fall in love.
Invite someone to go and do something.
Take you out.
Do something good as a balance to a bad or hurtful action.
Make it up.
Unplanned events that have a big impact on the future.
Twist of fate. Flirt.
Be in a relationship with someone.
See someone.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Relieved. They were relieved to hear that the company would not be making any layoffs. Relieved. I'm so relieved to hear your voice. I was worried something happened to you. Relieved. She was relieved to know that she didn't have cancer. Make it up. I'm sorry I forgot your birthday. How can I make it up to you? Make it up. I feel terrible for calling your mother fat. I want to make it up to her, so I got her these flowers. Make it up. John forgot our anniversary again. He's going to have to make it up to me. Pick up. The dinner is at 7 tonight, so we'll pick you up at 6 o'clock. Pick up. Are you going to pick her up on the way home? Pick up. Sorry, but I cannot pick you up today. I have to go somewhere else. Ordinary. It was just an ordinary day at work. Nothing special happened. Ordinary. We had the ordinary problems that you find when starting a new business. Ordinary. Ordinary people can afford to buy Hummers. Crash. Watch out, you're going to crash into that tree. Crash. On my way to work this morning, I was looking at my phone and I crashed right into a telephone pole. Crash. I saw a bus crashing into a car this morning. Luckily, no one was injured. Fall in love. This guy is such a gentleman. I feel like I'm falling in love with him. Fall in love. After their first date, she totally fell in love with him. Fall in love.